It tried to bully China into taking a side, and it failed. NATO says it's done with talking and has moved on to saber-rattling.
We see that China has been unwilling to condemn Russia's aggression, and has joined Moscow in questioning the right of nations to choose their own path. So I expect we will agree to deepen NATO's cooperation with our Asia-Pacific partners, including in areas such as arms control, cyber, hybrid, and technology. Working more closely together will make us all safer and more secure.
So let me get this straight. NATO supports Ukraine's right to choose its own path, but not China's? And the North Atlantic Treaty Organization sure is barking orders far away from the North Atlantic.
We have seen that China is unwilling to condemn Russia's aggression, and Beijing has joined Moscow in questioning the right of nations to choose their own path. This is a serious challenge to us all, and it makes it even more important that we stand together to protect our values.
As always, NATO's following close behind the U.S., which has never hidden its burning desire to contain its main competitor, China. Only now, Washington's inching closer than ever towards a military confrontation with it. Having failed to shame Beijing into thinking it's on the wrong side of history, the U.S. is switching gears into fear-mongering.
It almost seems like we can't go through a month without some new revelation coming about China. In my mind, the Chinese are building a military that is capable of coercion, which requires us to have a strategy to be able to stand up to that coercion or defend the Indo-Pacific and the broader world order that the U.S. and our allies value.
Washington also claims China is acting aggressively by setting up military bases in the South China Sea. Instead, the U.S. says it should militarize the area. Again, the South China Sea. $95 million worth of American military equipment has been approved for Taiwan's use to achieve that end, including Patriot air defense systems. Then there's AUKUS, the security pact between Australia, the US, and the UK. When it says it wants a free Indo-Pacific, it clearly means one free from China. And so the pact's entering the growing arms race for hypersonic missiles. China, on the other hand, is sending out a warning to the West. Don't provoke Beijing the way you did Moscow.
Anyone who do not want to see the Ukrainian crisis should refrain from doing things which may lead the other parts of the world into a crisis like this. As the Chinese saying goes, if you do not like it, do not impose it against others.
All the while, the West and its allies are fixing their bayonets. In Japan, a recent poll suggested people want to break with the country's post-World War II tradition of leaving defense matters up to the U.S. and strengthen its own national defenses. The European Union, with all its past rhetoric of peace, is also rearming, with Germany, for example, pledging $110 billion to modernize its military. Its foreign affairs chief even called the EU's last high-profile summit with China a dialogue of the deaf. Looks like all is revealed about the West's foreign policy when it doesn't get its way through diplomacy. It's our way or the highway.